All right, you ready, Vance?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, good.
Madonna forever. Madonna forever. Madonna forever. Madonna forever.
You're listening to MLVC, the Madonna podcast, your place for all things Madonna Louise Veronica Ciccone. I am your unofficial celebration tour correspondent, Steppen. Happy Saturday, everybody. Today on the show, we have Vance, who saw Madonna's celebration tour in Montreal. Welcome to the show, Vance.
Thanks.
How are you doing? Thanks for getting up early.
I mean, 11 o'clock isn't that early for me, but
Well, you
but
had a late night, so
I did, yes.
You know, you're still in Montreal, yes? You've having a bit of a weekend.
This whole trip has been like a nice celebration of Madonna.
Nice.
All the gay bars we went to last night too, it was like all Madonna playing.
Oh, fine. Where did you go? What were some? Is there a bunch of gay bars in Montreal?
Yeah. There's in St. Catherine Street, the Village. So we went to this bar. I don't know what it was called in the first place, and but then we went to Le Stud to go dancing, and then we were at the Black Eagle for a bit. They were playing Madonna all night too.
Nice. Oh, that's fun. I love when you're out in a place and you get to hear Madonna out, and it's like not from you putting it on, you know, like I'm so used to like eye control when I hear Madonna, but I love when I'm like, and I feel bad for the people that I'm out with, because if that ever happens, I'm so distracted. Like if somebody's in the middle of a story and like Deeper and Deeper all of a sudden comes on in a bar or whatever, I can't focus. I know I've heard Deeper and Deeper thousands of times, yet for some strange reason, when it's out in a bar and there's other people, I'm just like, I sort of want like reactions from people around me to be like, look, Madonna's on, she's on, you know?
Yeah. Most of my friends will say that whenever Madonna comes on, they'll be like, "Oh, I thought of you."
Yeah, I mean, I'm the same way. I always say like, if I'm in a drugstore or like a Rite Aid or like a supermarket, and I'm walking down the frozen food aisle and Madonna comes on, I'm like, I have to have a little mini dance party. It's like, oh, you're an angel by the yogurt section. You know, like it's so much fun. I don't know.
Yeah.
So before we get to the topic of you at Montreal celebration, I did want to do a little bit of the topic of du jour, because there is a topic flying around. So don't just stand there. Let's get to it. It's time for a little This Week in Ciccone.
See, I get what I want.
As we all know, two gay men in New York are suing Madonna for being late, quote unquote. It's gone around the news cycle to the point where even The View was mentioning it. Joy Behar was slagging Madonna for being 2 hours late. I just thought we'd have a little chit chat about that. Vance, what time did Madonna come on for you in Montreal?
It was shortly after 10, and I was surprised because I tried to go pee and I got stuck because I was in the pit and I got stuck in like on the way to pee and I couldn't move at all because Bob was going through. And so, but I was surprised she came on. So that wasn't bad. I was expecting a lot later.
Yeah, and I heard the other night it was like 9:40.
Oh yeah,
she's like shaking it up, you know. Like, she's keeping us on our toes. Yeah.
Yeah.
But look, a lot of people have been saying it's disrespectful that she doesn't, come on time. We've talked about this multiple times on the show. I mean, my thing is with Madonna, quote unquote, coming on late. Like, I don't necessarily consider her coming on late. To me, yes, the ticket says 8:30, but I guess as a Madonna fan, we're so used to her not starting at 8:30. Like it's not a movie. Like it's not when you go to a movie and the movie starts. Even movies. Like movies say they're going to start at 8:30, and 15 minutes later, after you've sat through umpteenth commercials and trailers and whatnot, finally the movie starts. You don't see people suing the movies because the movie doesn't start at 8:30 when they say it's going to start. Like it's just, that that's what the movies are going to start at. And we sort of accept it. With Madonna, I think we all sort of know she's not coming out at 8:30 p.m. But I'm, and I guess I'm in the minority. I'm one of those people who likes to get to the venue when they open because I just have so much nervous, anxious energy to see her that I like, why am I going to sit at home? Or I'd be far too distracted to be in a restaurant eating food, knowing that I'm like, it's 8:30. Like I wouldn't be able to enjoy the meal knowing that I'm about to see Madonna. And I get that I am not in the majority with, a lot of people like to go out and have drinks and then go have dinner and then show up, blah, blah, blah. But my point is, I feel Madonna provides an escape from real life. When you go to her show, it's a fantasy, like there's no hate, there's no war, you're not at work, you're not in that argument that you had with your super earlier that day, like you've been transported to another world, one where there's dancing and singing and camaraderie with people around you. And to me, that is something worth waiting for, like if Madonna has given you art and you readily accept that art, if you've been on board with her as an artist, there's rules to abide by in my mind. Like whether you like it or not, she's not another pop star, like she's not just some little pop star who just burst onto the scene. She's a living legend. And I feel like the rules sort of don't apply that way. And as we all know, no one's forcing you to be there. Like if you bought a ticket, you sort of, that's what happens, and I get it. People are going to be like, but I had to work early in the morning or childcare or whatnot. Well, you know what? That's the world of Madonna, You just have to accept it or complain, but what do you think about these guys suing her?
Well, the thing I've never understood about, because I remember this happened in like MDNA, like in Miami, where like a lot of people left. And
Right.
I just think, what is your other plans? Like what, if you're going to Madonna, aren't you like, isn't that going to be your whole night? So if she's an extra hour, like, why do you want to get out of there? And I also think that just being in the space of being at the venue, it's like, it feels like a Madonna convention. Like,
yes.
So it's like, it's not like it's boring hanging out there waiting.
Yeah. Right.
The only thing,
go ahead.
I will say the only thing that bothers me about the time thing, and I wish that she would do this, is that I don't care what time she goes on, but I wish she would make an announcement of like, in 15 minutes, the show is about to start.
Sure.
Because that was the thing about me having to pee, was I was like, do I go pee or do I not go pee? But I don't have to pee during the show. Maybe I should go one more time. And then I got stuck. And then so if like she was just like 15 minutes, then everyone could go get their drink, go pee or whatever, and be settled. But it's just this like waiting of like, should I get another drink? I don't know if I should, right?
Yeah. No. Well, and look, I mean, if people don't realize the venue and Live Nation do not want her to come on at 8:30, besides the point that the entire venue is not full at 8:30. Like if you've been in the venue and you look around that venue at 8:30, there's barely anyone in their seats yet because everyone's drinking, everyone's eating, they're shopping at the merch. They're still on their way. Like people are not there at 8:30 when the DJ starts. So, I mean, yeah, I get it. Like if there was like a countdown clock maybe on a screen, being like the show's about to start, this, that, blah, blah, blah. But I still think people would still be late. Like people would still be running to get to their seats if Bob came out and whatnot. So I don't know. I think she's damned if she does, damned if she doesn't. If she started at 8:30, people would be like, why did she come on so early? I was still at dinner. I missed half the show. Or you're going to get the people who want to be out by 11 o'clock and are complaining that, it's 1 a.m. and their babysitter's tired, whatever it is. Like, I don't think she's never going to win, I don't think there's a win-win with this situation, but I agree. I think like it's a night out. That's the night out, whether and Madonna doesn't care that it's a Tuesday, like it's not her fault. That's the only day the venue had available, like she had to reschedule. Basketball season is taking up all of her weekend slots. So if you have to see her on maybe the two gay guys who are suing her shouldn't have bought tickets on a work night, like they bought tickets for Barclays I saw her on a Saturday in Barclays. I didn't have to worry about working the next day. Maybe the gay guys who were suing her should have done the same. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I was going to say, is that the reason why they're suing her? Like, what is the reason? What is their damages for the lateness?
They were tired for work the next day. That was,
okay.
I'm like, tell me, like, I'd be curious to know their life a little bit. You know, like, they've never stayed up till sunrise dancing at Mykonos, you know? Like,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know. It just seems a little sus. Like, maybe they're promoting their OnlyFans and they need attention or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It just seems a little strange to be complaining. Like, we've all been tired for far less fun than Madonna,
Yeah.
you know? Just suck it up. You're tired at your job the next day. We've all been there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. God bless her. It's,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, honestly, I'm just happy I got to see her, you know, like,
Yeah, totally.
I would settle for being tired because it's Madonna, you know, like, I was just happy that she came out at all, you know?
Yeah. I know. And we've all been waiting like a year for this show.
I know.
So, like, why would you go and sue someone for it after?
I know. For anyone asking, and I get asked this all the time, what time does she go on? What time did she go on this time? I don't know. I don't pay attention to the start time. Just know, be there by 9:30. She's never going to go on before 9:30. But if she went on at 9:40 the other night, I heard, make sure you're there on time. You know what I mean? Like, otherwise, I just get there when the venue opens because it's fun. I like to see friends, hang out, crowd watch. You know, people's outfits are fun. It's just fun. It's fun to walk around, take pictures. Yeah. You know,
I know. I was touching the stage and I got yelled at.
Oh, really?
I got there early and I kept on trying to like touch the stage and my friend take a picture of me and he wasn't taking the picture. And then finally the security guard was like, "Don't do that."
Okay, so Vance, let's talk about you at Montreal. So you saw the first night of Montreal, yes?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was this your first time seeing the show?
Yes, this tour, yeah.
Okay. And you said you were in the pits. Which pit were you in? Were you in Sound Factory or were you in Danceteria?
Oh my God, I didn't even know. I was on the right side. Which one was that?
So you were closer to her when she was on the bed?
Yes.
Okay, so that's the Danceteria pit. The other side where she sprays the water on everybody from the beer, that's the Sound Factory pit. So, how was your experience? Is that the closest you've ever been to Madonna?
No, the first time I saw her in MDNA was in Cleveland. I saw that show twice, but the second time I saw MDNA, I made it into the Golden Triangle.
Nice.
And was front row center, so that like set the bar pretty high.
Yeah. Once you get close, it is tough to not be close again.
I know. Well, I just to be able to like see the seams on the costumes and to see her facial expressions and I remember like Madam X because I was front row for that too, and I was like, oh, I could see the veins in her eyeballs. Yeah. That's how close I want to be.
Yeah, it's and I'm telling you, it is. It's almost like, you know, like it's a drug. You know, once you get that hit, you're like, because when I saw Celebration the first couple times, it was from further away, and I was only okay because I knew eventually I'd get closer. You know, like some of the later shows, but I was like. In Paris, I was far away on the second show, and I'm like, this is the farthest I've ever been away from Madonna in a very, very long time. And I was like, it was nice to be able to see the show, but I love when you feel like you're part of the show in the pit.
Yeah. There was some moments I saw like clips after or just videos of like if you were at the end of the catwalk or even at the back of the arena where I was like, because there was a lot of times where I'm like, I'm looking at her back. Yeah. You know, and which was fine. But I was like, oh, it's a different experience seeing the whole show, like to be able to see the screens back behind her and her. Because I kind of was like going like this to kind of like check the screens every once in a while. But the pit was also great. Like the people were good and you could dance in there. And
so great. Tell everybody. So the pit, you have a lot of space, right? It's not like you're crammed in.
No, I was saying you could fit like 6 or 7 other people in there. Like it wasn't even that full. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the pit isn't, I don't know how big the one on the other side is, but it's not that big. Like it's not like a giant floor space. It's like pretty small, which was cool because it's like the people that you were hanging out in there kind of like, okay, this is our crew.
Yeah. So remind me, I don't know what your experience was when you were at MDNA in the Golden Triangle.
Yeah.
I was in the Golden Triangle for the Philly show, and I felt like that was packed. Like I felt like we could not move. Maybe it was just because I was like up, but I felt like everyone was pressing up against each other. Like I felt like we were sort of like jammed in there, which is very different from how I feel the pits are for the Celebration tour.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have the same experience? Like do you remember how crowded you felt in the Golden Triangle?
Oh yeah, it definitely was really crowded because some chick yelled at me for like being too close or like dancing too hard beside her. I was like, "Go fuck off."
So you had you spoiled yourself on what the set list was, and had you watched videos of Celebration prior to seeing the show in person?
The only thing I would allow myself, so like on Instagram, like scrolling through, I would see like clips, but I didn't ever watch like a full song. So, like, and actually, I don't think I even looked at the set list. Like, I knew what the songs were, but I just didn't look at it. I didn't know that like Everybody Get Into the Groove Holiday, that set was right at the beginning. For some reason, I felt like that was going to be near the end. So when it started, I was like, oh, this is the first part of the show.
Okay. So you walked into it a little, you had some surprise.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
And what did you think of the show overall?
It was like, I don't know, it was a celebration of Madonna, but there was so many moments of like, cause like I'm 34, right? So when I became a Madonna fan, when I was like 12, she was already like, up to reinvention, right? Like, so it was like I wasn't there for a lot of that stuff, and even then, I was still so young to be going to Madonna shows. So there were so many times, like with Erotica, when she went into "You Thrill Me," I was like, oh, this is because I'd never seen Erotica live, like a full song of that in a show, and I love Erotica and that whole era, and so just seeing that, but then how she added in "You Thrill Me," I was like, oh, this is Confessions. And so there was just like lots of things like sprinkled in that I was like really nostalgic, or even just the Beast Within, like the Stephen Klein Static Process images and videos. I was like, oh, this must have been what it felt like to be at Reinvention.
Yeah. What were some of your standout moments from the show? Like, what were some of your favorite performances that you were watching?
I think Erotica and Justify My Love was amazing. I loved all of that. Hung Up was really good. I was really happy to see she added in the choreo dancing. So another moment sprinkled in. So I started like doing that with her. What else would I? Nothing Really Matters was really special because obviously she's like never performed that on a tour. Yeah. And I just didn't ever think that I would get to see that song.
And it's such a great version too, you know?
Oh yeah.
Like, it's not as if like she just sort of like tosses it in and you're like, oh, okay, Nothing Really Matters. It's like this grand moment of Nothing Really Matters.
Yeah. Ray of Light was even fun to dance with or dance to. That was like a great moment. Really fun. Oh God.
And I find Ray of Light specifically was great in the pit because I feel like she's sort of like in front of you as she's floating in the box, and the dancers are behind you on the main stage, and then the lasers are sort of like encompassing you. So you kind of like it, just like you're enveloped in the show, and it's just amazing. And the sound is so good during that number. And to have the space to dance, it was fantastic.
Yeah, totally. Well, even like going into Bedtime Story, I was just like, I just love the aesthetic of the very rave, aesthetic that with like the costumes that the dancers were wearing too. I was like, oh, I love all of this.
Yeah. Nice. What were some of your favorite looks? Did you have a costume selection that you loved that she was wearing?
For her, I mean, I love the Jean Paul Gaultier corset that she wears for Vogue. That one is great. Actually, when she went into Human Nature, that was one. I love Human Nature. Like I have Express Yourself tattooed on my arm, and I always have to tell people that.
Where? You've got a sleeve. You've got a sleeve on. We can't see it. You've got to come. You got to come ready, Vance. A zip off so you can show those things.
Yeah. I was sad that Human Nature was like pretty short. Like
it was a little
short. It was like tiny little thing. Yeah, it was like, oh, we're already going crazy for you.
Yeah, but see, funnily enough, I kind of wish that she had done that with a couple other songs, not the ones that are in the set list, but like just to add in some others that we didn't get. Like it would have been fun to just get like little blips of other songs where you like that we didn't get. Just I mean, I'm glad. So wait, question: Express Yourself was still the acoustic number, right? When she was playing the guitar. So did she bring Rain back?
Yeah.
So she had done Frozen a couple of times, but when you saw her in Montreal, you saw Rain instead.
Yeah. Did you ever see Frozen?
No. So the couple times I've seen the show, it's only been Rain. So I was wondering if she was going to flip back to Rain at some point. I guess she did. Because
she had the Frozen visuals on the screen,
which has always been, that's how they've always been the Frozen visuals. But but she's always only done Rain up until she hit, I think it was Boston or Toronto. I forget which. I think it was Boston.
Yeah, I think it was
but yeah, so I was like, oh, she's back to Rain. I wonder if that will like, if she'll keep flipping those, or if it was like she just wanted to do Frozen a couple of times and now it's gone.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. My friend said that he saw Frozen, or when she did Frozen, and he was glad when I said she went back to Rain because he apparently didn't like it. And now I'll have to watch it online because I've never seen the Frozen instead of Rain. And so
I don't know. I mean, I love Frozen, but I just felt like Rain, because we hadn't heard Rain since Girly Show, that it was like, plus, I mean, my co-host Ben and I, we were talking about it. It's like the amount of erotica that features on the Celebration tour. It's fine by me, I am erotica, bring it, like the more the merrier, like I'd say trot out. Like, can we get some waiting? Like give me waiting. That would be great. I'd love to hear that a little deeper and deeper. I mean, I'm never going to turn away from a little deeper and deeper. There's, I mean, the whole album is good. She could literally just do the erotica album as from like start to finish, and I'd be fine with that. So you sort of sounded like you were alluding to liking some of the dancers' outfits. Was there, because her dancers are kind of hot.
Oh wait, yeah, they are. I have a great moment that I caught the shot of when it was the voguing ballroom runway, and I don't know what the guy dancer that wears a jockstrap.
Oh, okay. So I think I saw your video, and I had to laugh. So everyone, if you've not seen Vance's video, Vance, instead of focusing on Madonna on stage, Vance just zooms in on the bare bottom of the guy wearing a jockstrap or a thong. Yeah, I'm like.
Well, it was a perfect moment because I didn't even see that he was going to do it, but he started shaking his ass, and I was like, I mean, focus on that.
Look, if I had a booty like his, I'd probably be shaking it on stage if people let me to. So but her dances are beautiful, like stunningly beautiful, and I love when you're like when you're in the pit, they're like sort of making friends with you, like because they can. They're just sort of just like talking and hanging out. The one dancer, Donnie, during Don't Tell Me, he lays down on the stage and puts his like arm up, and it was literally right in front of me in the Sound Factory pit. And I was just like, can you please just stay here for the rest of the show? I'm like, you're so pretty. He's just like hamming it up with his hat. They love it. Like they're having a great time.
Yeah. I've always thought the one thing with Madonna shows is like I love any dance, like I like Britney, I like Kylie and all them. And I find though the thing with Madonna's dancers are they are so unique. Like sometimes you see, like if you see like a Britney show or a Katy Perry or something, you're like, oh, I recognize these dancers that all kind of work for all the pop stars. But I find that with Madonna's, like I don't see the dancers anywhere else because usually they're not really like trained to be doing these pop shows, right? Like she finds, you know, these unique dancers. Beyonce's show was like that too, right? But that's what I love about Madonna's dancers so much.
Well, I feel like she's picking, not that the other dancers from other shows aren't good, because I think they all are amazing dancers regardless. But yeah, I think like some of the like current pop stars, they're picking people that know how to like do current movements, and not that Madonna's dancers don't, but she's utilizing them in choreography that maybe some of those other dancers might not be trained with. And I mean, just like, it's just such an artful choreography that she has in her show. And I mean, you were resonating with Erotica and Justify My Love, and those two examples, like I love the difference in style from Erotica to Justify My Love. You know, like I mean, the one thing we were talking about, I lose track of who I've spoken to about this because I speak to so many people about the show. But that movement where she's sort of like, it's like her leg is weaving and her hip is sort of going back and forth and she's going with it, and all the dancers are doing during Erotica. Like
Erotica, yeah. No,
she does it. I think she does it like 3 times. It's like she does it once on the main stage, the main catwalk, the far left catwalk, and then she goes back to the middle catwalk and does it again. And it's just this little wave of her like, and I'm like, it's such a simple movement, but just seeing her and the dancers do it, I'm like, yes, Madonna, yes. You know, like it's just so good.
I know I was saying too in the just because right, obviously people are like, oh, she can't move the way she used to and all this stuff. And there's so many, even like I've heard comments about people like saying, oh, this is her last tour. And I was like, I don't think she said that at all. And like, I'm sure she would do more if she can. And like, she's not that old, but I was saying right before Justify My Love, the part where she sits down, like she just sits down in front of them cross-legged. And I'm like, she's 65 years old. First of all, to sit down cross-legged is like in that, with that much ease. Like,
yeah.
Like she's still mobile. She can do it.
Yeah, I know. I applaud her for having the desire to even do the show after having been in the hospital. You know what I mean? Like to know that she was that intent on recovering and working and still doing that is such a great work ethic to me. I think that that's something that should be applauded. And
yeah, I used to always like, I think, well, I still do like love Madonna for her work ethic and how strong she is and stuff. But I think there was a thing of like, Madame X, that she'd be doing all these shows and like she never would like get injured. And I'm like, this woman is like in her 40s and 50s and like, look how fucking fit she is. And then, you know, when I see like, you know, Gaga is like having injuries and she's, you know, half her age. And so I kind of always took that. I was like, yeah, Madonna, just be a badass, like just be fit and powerful. But then seeing her in the last couple of years, where I wish she would talk about what it feels like for her body to not be cooperating anymore. Right. And so like, that's gotta be so hard. Like for her work ethic, like with Madame X, I'm like, she pushed herself so hard to like, she could have just canceled the tour because it was getting to a point of like, what are you doing?
Well, you could see it. You know, yeah. like even when she started the show, we were going for the first, you know, we were in New York seeing the first couple of shows, and you could tell that she was not altogether present with it. And then by the time I saw her in December in Philadelphia, you could see that she just like, that she was in pain, you know, that it was a struggle for her to, you know, I mean, she wasn't limping, but it was, I think that's what's great about seeing her now is the fun, the freedom that she has to move is back, which is great. And I love seeing that. But yeah, I don't think she wants to be that vulnerable in front of people to sort of admit my body doesn't work the way that it used to. You know, I mean, like, unlike me, where I'm just like, I can't shovel snow today. My lower back is hurting, you know?
Yeah. I know it's funny. I was talking yesterday about like, whenever she does like the drop squat dance move, like ended round world for music, you know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
And so it's funny. I was like, I get up every morning and I dance and have coffee, and I've done that like my whole life. And so but I would always do it. So I'd be dancing to Madonna and I do like the choreography. And so in my 20s, I would be doing that. And I'm like, I was saying last night that I can still do that, but it's so funny because like I have to like stretch and warm up, or like I'll do that or throw my back out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I was like, and she was doing that all the way up into her like mid 50s.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see those. I don't think we'll see
No, I don't think so,
deep
yeah.
knee squats anymore. And honestly, I wouldn't want her to. Like
Yeah.
she doesn't have anything to prove to us anymore. She's been there, she's done that. Like the amount of accomplishments and amazingness that she's done, like I'm fine. I don't need her to. I don't want her to injure herself. Like God bless her for being a dancer and a performer who continues to want to perform for us. Because most dancers, by the time they hit 30, they're like, I'm out. I'm done. I'm going to teach. Like the dancers, they don't dance for years professionally for years. Like her dancers that she's got on tour with her now, I think maybe some of them are in their 30s, but that's it.
Yeah, Marvin Goffin.
Exactly. Marvin's
like,
yeah, exactly. He's probably the oldest one. He's like the grandfather of the group.
Yeah. I will say though about the age thing is that one thing, like I love the nightie that she wears for erotic and all that, because I was really happy that she showed skin, because like even in like MDNA, remember when like the first shows for like the turn up the black dress that was like sleeveless, and then all of a sudden she threw sleeves on, and I was like, did she do that because like she felt self-conscious about her arms? And
Maybe.
so I was like, she was getting to this point of like everything was covered up. And I was like, the thing with like, we don't need you to look perfect. I still want to see her be sexual and be like, yeah, fuck it. Like, I'm older. My body doesn't look the same, but you can still show skin, be sexual, like show your body. Like, I think that's the thing that what I want from her to do is like, because like even like on Instagram when everything is so photoshopped, I'm like, I don't want to see, I want to see you. And I think for Madonna, it just has it gives this message that like she cares a lot about the way she looks, instead of being like, maybe it sucks that I'm getting older, but like, this is my way of pushing back on society, is being an older woman that's going to show skin. And she could be like, she really stepped into that power, right?
I mean, I think she's doing that, by being on stage and by wearing a negligee she wears that negligee for a good couple of numbers, like once she takes the boxing robe off in erotica, and then there's Justify My Love, and she's on the bed, and then she goes into Hung Up, and like, or I'm getting the order mixed up, but it's like she's doing a bunch of Bad Girl. I mean, she's like that whole middle section, she's just in that negligee, and like props to her for doing that, like to me, that's a ballsy move, because it's such a simple little outfit, and she wears it for a lot. And it's just her on stage, like it's, I like that she's sort of, there's no filters, there's no costume, it's her, basically almost naked on stage, and she's bearing her soul to us, which I love, some people wouldn't even do that at 25, much less 65, So props to her. Are you planning to see Celebration again?
I don't know. So she's doing a show tonight in Montreal. So I don't know. We were gonna look and like
just
see
go get
how the day
tickets.
goes.
Seriously, come on,
treat yourself. Treat yourself. Tickets.
It's a Saturday. You don't have to wake up tomorrow.
Yeah. So we'll see how the day goes. But it's very, so I would always like when I saw MDNA and I saw it twice, I was like, oh, I want to try to always see as many shows as I can. And I saw Madame X twice, and there was a part of me also with this show that I felt so Madonna has just inspired me so much with my career and being like pushing through and being able to like be myself, that I just felt like I had this like, not that I wouldn't go see a bunch of more shows, but I was like, I just feel really inspired by how I feel in my life and looking at this show and being like, oh, the things that I have outside of this that I don't need to see the show, 20 times because I don't got that kind of money.
Right.
But I would if I could.
Yeah.
But it just felt like, oh, okay, yeah, I actually like feel this point. Like I feel like I'm finally at this place where all the stuff that Madonna taught me, I'm actually doing.
Nice.
So I felt like very content with, if I see the show once, that's okay. But
Well,
we'll see.
if you're looking for a sign of, like whether you should go, I am your sign. I'm telling you,
Okay.
I'm telling you, you should go again. Just because I'm sure, as you know, that show is like, there's so much to take in that you don't really get the full picture just by one viewing, and you're in Montreal and she's in Montreal, why not? It's I get it if you had you were in Montreal for the first night, but then you had left and you weren't there anymore. That I'd understand. But if you're still there, come on. Just why not?
Yeah. So we'll see. Maybe we're gonna wait to see last minute tickets or something to see if
I'm telling you, I think tickets are probably cheap, and
yeah. So we'll see.
Well, I enjoy the show.
Yeah.
Did you get any merch? Are you a merch person? Did you buy a t-shirt?
I usually will get merch, but I always order it online. So if I see anything there that I like, just because I always don't want to carry around merch for the rest of the night.
Yeah.
So I got my little VIP bag with the hat in it, and it was really funny. Me and my friend went to the show. It was because there was the VIP reception thing that we went to, and you get 2 free drinks, and I was like, oh, it's a good thing we paid $1,000 for 2 drinks.
Yeah. Well, it's the experience. The hat's pretty cute.
It is.
I kind of wished it also came with a T-shirt, but whatever. We got the little bag. You get the little celebration bag that comes, so you can wear it around.
Yeah.
Well, Vance, I'll let you go enjoy the rest of your Saturday, but before you go, it's time for a little segment we like to call the lightning round. These answers are just meant to be quick off the top of your head, wherever you're at in your Madonna journey. Don't think too hard. Favorite Madonna song?
Erotica.
Dita Forever.
Yeah. But sometimes it switches. Okay, keep going.
It's today. It's whatever comes out. Favorite Madonna album?
Probably Confessions.
Oh, nice. Favorite Madonna music video?
Erotica.
Ooh, that's seedy, dirty.
Yeah.
Favorite Madonna tour?
Confessions.
Favorite Madonna movie?
Oh my God. I'm just gonna say Evita. But I'll be honest, I don't really like Madonna's movies.
Stop it. Desperately Seeking Susan?
Yeah. It's,
Who's that girl? A League of Their Own? There's so many.
Oh, League of Their Own is good, actually. But that's not so much a huge Madonna movie.
Were you just about to say, I've never seen Who's That Girl?
I have not seen Who's That Girl.
Okay, that's your homework.
Okay.
And your homework is to go watch Who's That Girl.
Yeah.
You'll love it. Don't worry.
Yeah.
It's great 80s camp comedy. I love it.
Yeah.
Favorite Madonna look, and this can be from a video, a tour, a photo shoot.
Just because I looked at it the other day, when she came out with Jean-Paul Gaultier with her boobs out, that dress,
where she's got the little beret, and it's like a crisscross top where her breasts are just hanging out. Yeah, that's iconic. That was and she looks amazing in that look. I love that. I actually, to promote this episode, I will I'll post that.
Okay.
A little censored, but I'll post it.
Yeah.
Well, Vance, thanks for giving us your thoughts about Celebration. Tell everyone where they can find you on social.
So you can find me on Instagram at Vance HDMN, VANCE HDMN. And
that way you'll be able to see some juicy booty shaking in a jockstrap.
You can see a lot of my skin.
And remember, everybody, you can find us on Instagram, Twitter, and Threads at MLVC Podcast. If you'd like to donate to the show, we're on Venmo at MLVC Podcast. And if you've not already subscribed to our YouTube channel, tick that button so you never miss a video. We're going to be going live periodically, not every show. I don't have the energy to do every show, people, but we're going to be doing as many reviews of the Celebration Tour, the remaining dates as possible, so you can hear people such as Vance talk about their experience. So make sure you tune in for that. Otherwise, Vance, stay where you are. We're going to end the live, but we'll do a little private kiki after this just for a couple seconds. But tell everyone goodbye.
Bye. Have a good Saturday.